Good morning, YouTube. How you doing? We're gonna have a little conversation today, if you want to, about guitar improvising. Improvising in general. So, get your cup of coffee, get your legal pad out and a pen, and share your thoughts as well in the comment section below. But I think it is time to have some real conversations about improvising on the guitar or improvising just in general. I think the first thing there's this head heart battle that goes on in music. Now, disclaimer, I didn't go to music school and I cannot execute. Okay, so if I'm trying to play a solo, let's come at it this way. If I'm trying to play a solo over a song that I love, and I'll put on a backing track here in just a minute. Do you think that I have to say, okay, I see a 3 chord, so I need to play the frigid mode over that, and now I see a 6 chord, so I need to play the ALN scale over that, and okay, no, no, I am just not going to do that. My head is on so much that my heart can't activate. Now, if you go to 6 year music school, especially if you play like bebop music, I guess you got to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not really even a fan of bebop, to tell you the truth, um, because it's just a flurry of notes coming at me. And I get it, I get the technical skill of it, but I don't think it's heartfelt music. And for me, that's what music is all about. If it just sounds like a flurry or a frenzy, or to me. Now, no offense to people who absolutely love it. I mean, that's the beauty of music, that there's so many varieties and flavors of music. So if you want to go through learning this and chords and scales over chords down that rabbit hole, I'm not mad at you. I just want to come up with a different way that we can execute something on the guitar or the piano or horns, or doesn't matter, really matter. I just happen to have guitar in my hand. I mean, we're not 19 and we don't have 50 years to study this, and what does it get us anyway? We got all these terms and scales and 9,000 different scales, and switch to this scale and the chords are going by, and oh, I lost my place, and it's just crazy. So there's got to be a better way than that. No offense to the jazz PhDs out there, but there's got to be a way for us, just homebodies, to just execute some nice sounding music without packing our head with all of that stuff. That's one thing. The other thing is, and this is a mental thing as well, to improvise, to really let things go, to just let it flow, to let it go. I think one of the things we have to lose is our expectation of how it's supposed to sound. It's going to sound the way it's going to sound. Because if you think it's supposed to come out a certain way and you hear something different, you're going to freeze. You're going to say, oh man, that was terrible. Like that, you'll hear that note, you'll say, oh yeah, yeah. But there's a way to make that sound pretty good. Especially if you understand tension and release. So that note is not, you didn't expect that. Maybe a different note, but you get the point I'm trying to make. The other thing is you do need something, some language to execute. And so what is the language you need, in my opinion, so that you can get off some halfway decent sounding guitar solos? Well, my friend Gino and I have been working on this. Maybe we'll collaborate on a book one day. Improvising for Us Dummies. Obviously, the first thing we want to learn is the major scale. And since my backing track is in B flat, it's it's the same backing track I used on the last video because I happen to like it. We're going to find B flat on the second finger. And usually I make 25-minute, 30-minute videos, but today I might want to take my time a little bit because I really want you not only to play chords, but to be able to execute a solo. So we want the major scale. And as I mentioned in the last video, that's the way to learn what frets is on. That's the way to learn the shape. But that's typewriter. The way to internalize that scale is grab yourself a looper pedal or get somebody else to play with you, or get Band in the Box or some kind of accompaniment. Now I'm not going to do this on every scale because I did this in the last video. I'm going to put my looper pedal on, and that was too loud, so I knew that, so let's try that again. That's what I want. So now I have my B flat major 9 chords strumming away, and I want to take my time with this. So I am really internalizing this scale. And I did that a little bit longer on my last video, so go back and check that video out on how to, I think it's called Practice Slower to Learn Faster. So that's just a little bit of sample of that. So we need the major scale off several fingers. So let's call this the 6-2 scale. It's off the 6th string, 2nd finger. So we also need the 6-1 pattern. So that's the 6th string, 1st finger. Now I got a string to go and I want to know what's on there. So that is the 6-1 pattern major scale. I also need the 6-4 pattern, right? 6th string, 4th finger. Uh-oh. to know what's on there. Yeah, fumbled through that one. So note to self, practice the 6/4 until I have it internalized. And what I would do there is I would put my drone back on, right? And then I'd work that out. I also noticed that this position puts me, at least in this key, in position 3. In position 3, what I mean by that is wherever whatever fret my first finger is hanging out on, I'm going to call that. Now, in this position, in position 5, I can connect those two. Because the bottom of this position is the top of this position. So I can connect those two if I want. So I have 3 positions off the 6th string. Okay, and that's enough to get going. But the same thing happens on the 5th string. So can I play a, let's just change it just for visual sake on the camera. We're going to move to E flat. Now I got E flat 5/2, 5th string, 2nd finger. Okay, and then I got 5, same thing as the 6th string. I got 5/2, I got 5/4, I got 5/1. So those 6 major scale positions should be learned, internalized, musical, use the drone or something to change them from typewriter to something musical. And so you'll notice that that puts you in several positions along the guitar neck. So that's major scale stuff. Now the other thing I think that everybody should kind of know is if I'm in B flat, right off the top of my head, I know the relative minor is G minor. So now I want the G minor pentatonic scale. So that's a tool I want in my toolbox. And the G minor pentatonic scale has 5 positions. Alright, now this part is a little bit to take in, but it's not as bad as learning 15 Mixolydian modes and watching the chords go by and changing your scale every 2 seconds. And now, forget that. Now, in the pentatonic scale, I mean, a lot of you know this already. So, pentatonic scale. Here's position. I call this position 1. Just for something to call it. I call this position 2. Now make sure I can connect position 1 to position 2. I talked about this on the last video as well. And then position 3. And so on, position 4. Now I'm playing it kind of typewriter-ish just for the sake of the video, but you know, you're going to have to make every last one of these things much more musical. And then the last position. So take the time to learn really well these 5 pentatonic shapes, and so that when you're in this position on the guitar, you can say, I got a choice. I can do B flat 6/4, or I can do pentatonic position 1. Both are in the same position. When you move up here to a couple of frets up, you can say, oh, I can do pentatonic position 2, or I can do major scale 6/2. Both are in the same position. So when you're executing that, and you can connect either one of those, and so on and so forth and so on. So pay attention to what sits where on the guitar, so that you can kind of make up your mind on the fly where to go, where your ear tells you to go. Now there's only one more thing that I think can really, maybe that's because that's all I know or all I really care about, is the arpeggios. So in the key of B flat, so let's take this B flat down here. Well, there's nothing to play way up here because I'm running out of room, right? So I'm going to go to the 2, the chord tone 2, which is C, and I'm going to play this minor kind of arpeggio. So I'm going to go slow on this one because I think, Gino, for you this is a little bit new. Let me play that again. Now these are just the notes, okay? So we got a C, we got a D, we got an E flat. That's clearly a minor scale kind of thing, right? Now we got a G. Now I could have just played the arpeggio, but I threw the beautiful 9th in because there's the B flat. So if it was a straight arpeggio like that, but I threw that D in. There's that D again. I guess I just like it. Now this is kind of an enclosure. So my target is that D. So I went, and then I repeated that pattern. Now the rhythm part is going to be different for different songs, different for different flavors, different moods. Just get the notes. Get these notes. Because that position shares with the major scale 6/4, the pentatonic scale position 1. Now we're going to add to the same position this minor kind of arpeggio. I don't really care what you call it. Don't try to glue it to the 2 chord. I'll show you in a minute. You can use this all over the whole song. So play that enough that you can kind of got it. that's an arpeggio from the third position, and the way you find it in any key is I'm starting it on the 2. I'm starting it on C. Okay, so you need to practice that for 2 hours until you have that down. I mean, really down. Really down. I'll show you its beauty in just a second. So now I want to go up here to the 3. Now here from this position, remember this is the same position as major scale 6-2. Now here we're going to play another minor. This time we're going to skip the 2. We're going to go straight to the flat 3. So in this position we got, I think you know this one. We got D, F, A, B flat. Now from there we're going to do that misty thing right up the ladder. There's a D. So let me go slow with that one so you can catch these notes. So we got a D, F with the 4th finger, A with the 3rd finger, B flat with the 4th finger, and next string, there's a D with the 3rd finger, F with the 2nd finger, A with the 1st finger, and then B flat. If you want to throw that C in, you certainly can, because that came from the major scale. One exercise you can do is you can go up this arpeggio and then you can come down the major scale. Now you got both. Now you have verified that both are in the exact same position. You can also do the pentatonic scale in this position. Same position. It just makes it a lot easier. So far we got off the 2, we got this. And then off the 3, we have this. Now, they're slightly different, so recognize that the difference really is one starts off with 1, right? And this one starts off 1 straight to the flat 3. See, this 2 doesn't even sound good. It's not even in the scale. So one more position. Let's go to the 6. That's a G, right? Now from this G down here, see how now I got my guitar kind of neck covered. I got this area covered. I got this area covered. Oops. Now from the 6, I can do either one of those patterns. Let's do the one that we just did. I just did from the 3. I just did it off the 6. All of this is working off the A string. So let's get those notes. G, B flat, D, E flat, G, B flat, D, and E flat. Now that gives you some pretty good. Now let's do the other one, and it works off the 6. Both of these patterns work off the 6. Let's try this other one. Let's see. Remember that? Let's try that off the 6. So, if you know your major scales in different positions, if you know your pentatonic scales in different positions, and if you learn these 3 arpeggios. By the way, one more thing about the pentatonic scale, kind of figure out where the blues note is. You are, in my mind, locked and loaded. You can skip music school. You really can. You really can. And you can roll off some decent solos if you have these really, if those 3 things, major scale, pentatonic scale, and a couple of arpeggios, patterns, down, you're all right. You really are. Now, will you be able to rip off a bebop line? Or maybe, but your ear will take care of those enclosures, or when to slide, or when to hammer on and pull off and bend and all that guitar stuff. At first, just get the notes down. So I am going to, now let's demonstrate. And I'm probably going to start and stop this because I want to show you exactly musically what I just showed you, kind of academically. So let's get our backing track going here. And this is an Autumn Leaves backing track with a 4-bar intro. And it's the same backing track I used on the last video. The intro, just for context, I don't want to get any copyright in there. Let's play a little bit of melody. Since I'm up here, let's work off the 2. Is that an arpeggio? Alright, let's do it again. Let's work off the major scale. Arpeggio. A little bit of major scale was thrown in there. arpeggio. Let's try this one. Let's try the other pattern off the 6. Oops. Let's do some pentatonic work. Major scale, pentatonic, major scale, arpeggio, pentatonic. See, I can switch back and forth because I'm in that position. Hold on a second, and turn the backing track on. Do you get the idea? I was able to kind of, to my ear, build something of a solo. Is it professional? You be the judge. But guess what I didn't have to do? I didn't have to say, oh, there's an A minor 7 flat 5, so I got to play a bridge. Oh, there's a D7. Oh, I got to play altered scale. I got to play this. No, I got major scale, pentatonic, and a few arpeggios, and I just let it flow. I just let it go. Now, for those of you who can execute what they call chord changes on the fly, God bless you. I can't do it. I can't do it. And I have no desire to do it. None. None. I have some commentary on that. I just think that's how they sell books and musical degrees and all that kind of stuff. I want to know, do you think back in the 1940s and the 1950s, back in the bar, people half drunk, well, do you think they were thinking about the Phrygian Mixolydian altered scale? No. They found something they liked and they imitated it. So one good thing that I do agree with, that if you're listening to a record and you hear something, you say, what was that? What was that? This is not the end all, be all on how to improvise. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying this will get you in the game. It just will get you in the game. If you know your pentatonic scale, and you can play with it. You don't just know it, you know it enough to mess with it. That's where your drone practice really will come in handy. Somebody asked me the other day, what kind of looper pedal do you have? There's a lot of them out there. So I have looper and drums by Flamma FS21. That's what I have. But there are some elaborate ones where people almost become one-man bands with their looper pedal. I don't do that. But I do use this looper pedal to lay down a drone. So, like that. So let's say I want to work on in my practice room. I'm gonna find the 6. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I'm on the 6th degree of whatever key I'm playing in, and I know I can execute a couple of different arpeggio patterns there. I can go to this one. Maybe I'll put a little reverb on that because I got a pedal for that too. Now, once I learn it, I can start playing with it. But I can also do the other pattern that I learned as well. I can do this pattern. I gotta remember that these 4 notes here go together, but they don't go together. They're zigzag up here, but they're together down here. That makes sense. I can slide in and out of my arpeggios to my major scale. By the way, that is this position. Drum practice is really very effective. Once you get the shape under your hands and the notes under your hands, then drum practice is pretty effective because now it allows you to toy with it, just to play with it, gives you a little space. Okay, little review. You don't need, I don't think, this is my opinion, you don't need 9 years of school. Your brain, smoke doesn't have to come out of your ears while you're watching every chord fly by. With a few tools, major scale, pentatonic, few arpeggios, maybe you throw in the blues every now and then, you can get in the game. All right. Agree, disagree, throw it in the comment section below. And happy practicing to everybody, and turn your brain off and make some music. All right, Mike in Detroit, signing off. Talk to everybody soon. Take care. Bye-bye.